Hi everybody and welcome to the Retro Rowing Show. Well, I posted earlier today that what's your best cheat, poke and hack? Now, Crash Magazine and many other magazines in the day, their big selling point was the pokes you could put in your game so as you could cheat on them. Some games you really needed to cheat on, and I can name a fair few that I couldn't get off the first level without a hack or a poke or a program that you typed in. Obviously, with the introduction of the multi-face, it was easier to put pokes in than ever. And it was easier for the magazines to put listings of pokes for the multi-face than to actually give you a full write-out of something you have to type in order to get the poke into the game. So what I thought I'd do today, I'd give you a top 15 of games that I think were easier to complete, obviously. So much easier even with the poke than you couldn't do them without the poke. So that's compiled by me, and you don't necessarily have to agree with this list. This is more opinion, and if you'd like to put some comments on what you think was the number one best poke of all time, then yeah, we've got a few honourable mentions, but let's start with the top 15. So without giving too much delay, let's tell you what I think are the top 15 pokes for Spectrum games. Hopefully we'll be able to hack Bagley's in space for the Spectrum next and be able to poke the hell out of that. That's my plan. I cunning one, I know, but yes, I need to poke, I need to hack. I'm not going to copy anymore, I'm just going to buy, but still I would like to try. So at number 15, a game that I couldn't do for years, I could get around about 4 to 5 levels. It is of course Turmoil by Bugbite, and it's a cracking game. It was also featured on TJ's Gameo of the Week, as he puts it. Howdy everybody, TJ here. Hang on, can I do that? Howdy everybody, TJ. No, not quite the same. Yeah, without that I would have never been able to go through all the levels. I know you could start further on in the game, of course. Oh, we've got more A-Boy Same coming up, don't worry. So that was number 15. Number 14, Azik Attack. Without that, I probably would have never been able to do it. Ultimate obviously did Azik Attack. Yeah, that was a tough one for me because I hadn't got a clue what to do. But, you know, I learned through having the poke. Number 13, Crucial, because this game was rather unfair. And even with an infinite lives poke, could still kill you off. You could get stuck. Brian Bloodaxe by The Edge. Remember that one? It even warned you at the start with a fake crash. Blow on this keyboard gently. So, number 12, Nebulous Hewson. Oh yes, cracking game. I'd have never been able to complete that without putting the infinite lives poke in, or, you know. So, moving on. Number 9, Eyeball by Firebird. Well, Eyeball, Firebird, cracking game. Tough as nails for me, but I loved it all the same. For me to progress and try and clock that game, I definitely needed to put a hack in it. Number 10, Movie by Imagine. What a brilliant game that was. Isometric game. It had the feel of a movie even, because you had one good girl and one bad girl, and I remember throwing grenade and ended up blowing myself up as well as the baddies. It wasn't easy because of the rotational directions. If you'd had more easier to move, you know, and of course you'd fire your gun, and by the time your bullet's gone across the room, he'd moved out of the way anyways. So yeah, that helped to have you know, a poke into that one. That was number 10. Number 9, well, definitely needed Renegade and Target Renegade. They joined spot, same game virtually, near enough, but without the poke for that, I'd never been able to get to the boss at the end and beat him up. I needed the extra lives and all the help that I could get, because I'm rubbish at these games, even though I like to try. There are one or two I'm pretty good at though, I will hasten to add. Okay, number 8, definitely required, even though you had umpteen amount of lives, was Technician Ted by Hewson again. Yeah, that game, even with infinite lives, could be deadly, but the full too far poke is the one you really required. But even then, you could put a foot wrong and still get stuck in the game. Technician Ted. Number 7, Night Law. stopping him from changing from wolf to person to wolf to person. That was a crucial poke, because you'd be halfway through a jump or just about to walk past some nasty when you suddenly change because you haven't kept an eye on the sun changing to the moon or the moon changing to the sun, and then you got walked into by a knight, and yeah, that helped a big deal. So that was number 7. Number 6, most important, biggest poke ever, one that you needed to complete this game, I feel, because it was impossible for me to do, was R-Type by Activision. Wow, invincibility, what a poke that was. Nothing could kill you. It was incredible. It was like he was a super ship that was invincible, and I needed that poke, bro, to see the further levels. That big ship on level 3, that was tough, but it got even tougher. So thank you for whoever hacked that one for me. It was a great useful addition in my multiface. Getting closer now. Number 5, Midnight Resistance. Yeah, I needed that one. By Ocean, of course, and probably coded by Jim, I believe. Cracking bit of coding. Excellent game. If you haven't played that one, play it. But play it with the Infinite Lives poke. It will help you out a great deal. So yeah, Midnight Resistance at number 5. We're getting ever so closer. Massive poke for this next game. Why? It was suggested, and somebody mentioned it, of course, in the comments, because you only had one life. Treasure Island Dizzy at number 4. Oh my life, you needed that poke. You needed that poke. It was impossible to do that without that poke. And I believe the Oliver twins, in their interview on one of the Retro Revival events, kind of apologised for it. And then they also apologised for people getting sick of asking, what does the red herring do? What, you mean it was just a red herring? Oh no! I was suckered too! No, I wasn't. I didn't really play Treasure Island Dizzy. But yeah, I think that was in all of us Dizzy, wasn't it, the red herring? Yeah, one life. Unbelievable. So we're getting down to the big 3. So what is the big 3? What are the pokes that made the real difference? Well, at number 3, and it was a toss-up, Dynamite Dan. Oh my life, that was hard. It was a cracking game. You wanted to explore, but be warned, even with an Infinite Lives poke, if you fell into the water, sometimes it would let you off, but generally you was done for. But that final vault where you have to blow up the safe, how'd you supposed to do that with your normal amount of lives? That looked pretty impossible. And even there was one place you could even get stuck, even with Infinite Lives, so you had to be ultimately very careful with that one. Dynamite Dan, the Infinite Lives poke. I'd have never completed that game without that, but it was great, and I loved exploring it. Number 2, simply because you felt invincible, and I think everybody put this poke in, was Commando. Commando by Elite. Oh, that was cracking, wasn't it? Shooting everybody with an invincibility poke, blowing everything up, going through level after level after level, knowing that you can't die. Oh, thank heavens for that. So, what was the big number 1? What is, I say, is the top rated of all pokes of all time for all games? Well, I've put this at number 1 for one reason. There was hundreds of pokes for it. Well, maybe not hundreds, but you know what I mean. There was Fall Too Far, Infinite Lives. There was Get Rid of the Monsters. Of course, we're talking Jet Set Willy. Oh boy, did we need the pokes for that one? Sure did. But yeah, Jet Set Willy, that is the number 1 in my list. If you don't agree with this list, that's fine. Make a list of your own. I'm interested to see any comments that you'd like to add to it. And in the meantime, if you enjoy my little videos and you like my reviews, I'm Retro Robbins. Please subscribe, share and like, and I'll be posting some more videos for you soon. And in the meantime, thank you for watching, everybody, and thank you to all my new subscribers. Glad you can join me, and I will be posting some more updates and videos soon. So you lot out there, take care, have a nice week, weekend and working week, if depending on when you watch this video. But for me, Retro Robbins, it's bye bye for now.